right way forward. Let me bring in Democratic Congressman Joe Sestak of Pennsylvania. Congressman is a three-star admiral, retired, highest-ranking military officer ever elected to the Congress. Joe, what are they talking about? Is it strategy or is it just troop? Or just a troop increase? What do you think their main focus of the conversation is in these meetings?
I think there's 3 points that they're trying to get clear. What's the real goal? Second, explain how counterinsurgency is different than counterterrorism. And 3, why more troops to do it? And I think that goal is the most important, because it's no longer, Ed, about Afghanistan. It's Pakistan and the safe haven. And third, why more troops in Afghanistan if that safe haven is the objective? That's where they are.
Well, on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee hearing today, that's exactly the same point that Senator Russ Feingold of Wisconsin brought up. Here it is.
All we get is a simplistic notion. If we don't stay in Afghanistan for a very long term, Taliban will be, or the Al-Qaeda will be right back. And it begs the question of what happens if they go to Yemen? What happens if they go to Somalia? What happens if they stay in Pakistan? How can it be that an international strategy against a global network can be that heavily concentrated on one place on the assumption that they will reconstitute themselves in a way that is exactly the same that allowed them to conduct the 9/11 attacks? It's far too simplistic for something that's that important to our national security.
Congressman, I ask you to put on your military hat tonight. Respond to that.
Absolutely. It really is not about Afghanistan and a safe haven there. Somehow we have to recognize that the radical Taliban in Pakistan, husbanding, guarding al-Qaeda, where the leadership is right now, in a very tough area geographically where they can hide among those who like them, is a place we just can't back away from. That doesn't mean an open-ended commitment, however. What it means is we have to have some troops on the ground in Afghanistan that close the door as the Taliban try to go back and forth, as we train the Pakistani army to do the job over there. It's Pakistan is what this is all about, and turning them to that safe haven.
So we've made 8 years of mistakes in Afghanistan?
We have, without a question. Ed, when I was on the ground there, because I headed the Navy's anti-terrorism unit for a short period of time at the beginning of the war, we had it. We had civil affairs forces, psychological operations forces, special affairs forces, not just with our military prowess of them, but building enough of an environment where people were trusting them and wanted not to have the Taliban back.
What did we do?
Iraq. We just pulled those troops out. We took the attention out, and as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said 2 years ago, in Iraq we do what we must. In Afghanistan we do what we can. No, we should have done what was required early on and left that nation with having eradicated the al-Qaeda that were on the run, and left that nation with some semblance, which is too late now, of nation building. Look, I don't want an open-ended commitment, but I think a measured strategy with a measured troops that can do it, with exit strategies, measuring success and failure, which without it we cannot put more troops there, is something we should see if we can do.
So former military naval admiral Joe Sestak, your recommendation to the president would be don't send 40,000 troops?
No, I believe you'll see approximately about 20 to 25,000 placed over there. But if the president does not provide that the goals al-Qaeda, number 2, that there is an exit strategy based upon metrics by which we are able to measure success and failure, we shouldn't do it. Because if they can't provide that, then why should we trust the strategy? And if we are failing, fall back to a containment strategy. No open-ended commitment.
Congressman, great to have you with us tonight.
Thanks for having me, Ed.
Thanks so much. Congressman Joe Sestak of Pennsylvania with us here on The Ed Show. Coming up.